Well, the thing about the legislation that they're proposing, this flagship legislation, is that yesterday the Transport Minister admitted that it won't deal with the current problems, that it's not going to solve the underlying issues. No, but let me be clear, I don't want strikes and disruption. I don't think those going on strike want strikes and disruption. They are facing a very real cost of living crisis. They're struggling to pay their bills. But these underlying issues have got to be resolved. We've had industrial action going on now for the best part of 5 months. We need to resolve the underlying issues. And what I want from the government is for them to get off their hands. They've been sitting on their hands through this. Get around the negotiating table, stop grandstanding, start governing. Thank you, Ian. Look, this legislation is, of course, it's when the Transport Secretary says yesterday that the legislation that his government is proposing as its flagship legislation is not going to resolve the underlying issues, then you know it's the wrong legislation. Thank you, Ian. I think I've got Chloe from the aisle. Chloe.
Thank you. Hi. How do you marry up your promise to be the party of business whilst also having a policy that would oppose legislation to crack down on strikes, which arguably tie businesses' hands behind their backs?
Oh, look, that's easy. If you look at the last Labour government, we didn't have this industrial disputes because we resolved the underlying issues. Take nurses, for example. We had the combination of fair pay for nurses and no strikes by nurses. So the answer to good everybody in this room who runs a business knows that the answer to good industrial relations is not conflict, it's actually how you resolve the underlying issues. And that's how a Labour Party, or a Labour government would work. It's what we did when we were last in power. Economic growth was far greater than economic growth in the last 12 years. If we had growth in the last 12 years at the same rate as the growth we had under the last Labour government, we'd have tens of billions of pounds to spend on our public services without raising any taxes. We didn't have strikes by nurses, we had fair pay for nurses. That's the difference of approach we'll bring in government.